Hello there, dear brothers and sisters in arms. Okay, first of all, I think I'm going to take the time to make this video because I have a few points that I would like to clarify with you. The first one is Omar Khadr. Okay, we all know that Omar Khadr cheated the Canada big time because he got $10.5 million from Mr. Justin Trudeau for nothing, you know. Just because he murdered an American soldier and blinded another one for life. He killed an American soldier when he thrown a grenade, okay, which is no good. After that, he was judged, has been put in jail in Afghanistan, then was moved to Guantanamo, was judged by the American Army, and finally got 40 years in Guantanamo. So when Mr. Trudeau found out about him, he went directly to Guantanamo, pulled him out of there, brought him back to Canada, here on our land, gave him $10.5 million from our income tax money, and then apologized under the name of all Canadians. Do you think it is the right thing that he has done? Well, myself, I don't think so, because many Canadians are thinking the same thing as I do right now. Because, you know, I consider Mr. Trudeau a traitor to the Canada because he has done that. And not only that, but he gave $10 million to other Muslims that have done the exact same thing about the Omar Khadr, just about the same thing, okay? But Mr. Trudeau said just because they're Canadian, they're worth $10 million money from our income tax, okay? Which is not right. Also, Mr. Trudeau kept giving money to all those damn crap Muslims in their own country, not here in Canada. Over here in Canada, you know, he used to give money to the mosques, used to give money to the Muslim or Islamists, used to give money to the terrorism. You know, Mr. Trudeau is not fair to the nation, because what he has done is what his dad was doing while he was on his reign, you know, which was very bad, because Mr. Justin Trudeau said last time he was elected that he was going to continue what his father has started. I believe that's what he's doing so far, you know, until his next elections. He has enough time to do the impossible for him to help veterans. Not veterans, I'm sorry about that. Muslims. I don't know why I said veterans, because us veterans we're getting nothing from the federal. We're just being put aside and they forget about us. But I was talking about Muslims or Islamists. Myself, I hate Muslims. Myself, I hate Islamists, because those two idiots have the same fucking thing in common. The Quran, okay? The Quran is the same fucking shit that they have in common, because both of them are reading the Quran, which is not a good thing to read, because they are approving pedophilia. They are approving the rape of women, and you know, they're approving all kind of shit which is not allowed here in Canada. Mr. Legault, you know, you have Mr. Legault is the Prime Minister of Quebec, but Mr. Legault got a survey done about many Quebecers, and all the Quebecers decided that it was going to be enough talking about the religions and the religion that Muslim or Islamists have right now, because, you know, they removed the cross out of the House of Commons, but that same cross should go back there, because it is our, you know, we've been living with it all the time, and we have to be living with that for the rest of our lives. Not remove the crucifix out of there, because the crucifix is within us here in Quebec. I'm just hoping that he's gonna make the law very severe for Muslims here, so those fucking idiot Muslims can go back to their country where they belong to. I'm just assuming that many other provinces will follow just what Quebec did with Muslim and Islamists. You know, we're a population here in Quebec. They are population anywhere in any province in Canada, and I respect them very much, you know. I respect them the way they should respect me, okay? Myself, I know I'm Quebecer. I know the rest of Canada don't like Quebecers. I know that the rest of Canada don't like Quebec, but there is one reason for it. It's because we speak French, you know. You know, Mr. Trudeau is wearing an earphone every time he's in the Chamber of Commons. You know, why does he wear an earphone? It's just because he's got, when Mr. Scheer is talking English, he's got translated to French, while he's supposed to be fluent in French and English. But to be honest with you, when Mr. Trudeau speaks French, I don't recall that man is a real French, you know, because myself, I speak French, and I know when someone is talking a bad French, like Mr. Trudeau does, okay? Because, not because Mr. Trudeau speaks a little French, that he's fluent in French. No, not because of that. He's not fluent in French. I'm honest with you. I'm telling you that Mr. Trudeau is not fluent in French, because he needs to learn a lot more than he has right now. Because Mr. Trudeau is not fair with us Canadian citizens, and because he is getting that many Muslims here in our land. And since Mr. Trudeau was elected, that's where our problem started, you know. And not because the problem started from there. What it did start when Mr. Pierre Trudeau was there, but the thing is, it was less than we are today, you know. There were less Muslim here in Canada than they are here in Canada today. Because today you cannot compare to when Mr. Pierre Trudeau was there. Okay, you cannot do that. But the thing is, you can consider everything bad that Mr. Trudeau has been doing with Muslims or Islamists or terrorism. I can tell you, or I would be able to bet my pension with you, that Mr. Trudeau has a lot of things bad in his head so far right now. Like he wants to solve this SNC-Lavalin thing, but I don't have a clue. I don't think he's going to be able to solve it all over, because, you know, Mr. Trudeau is fully guilty of what he's been doing with SNC-Lavalin. Because, you know, Mr. Trudeau has always been the same, you know. He was too young when he was elected Prime Minister of Canada, and he is still too young because of what he might think about Muslims. Myself, I'm old enough to think that Muslim here in Canada is our own problem. Is our biggest problem we have right now, okay? And there is nobody to solve it unless those fucking Islamists or Muslim come and get along with us. But they will never do that, because they always come here with their own fucking religion or their own fucking laws. But their laws are not the same than ours, okay? We have to consider big time ours, you know. We have to consider ours big time, because, you know, we have been raised with laws, okay? So the laws have been there forever, okay? I remember since I was born, and there were already laws on place, so we had to respect those laws. But Muslims that come to Canada, or Islamists or terrorism, they don't respect our laws, okay? They always go to tribunal, and they always win, because you know why? It's because of the Human Rights Charter in Ottawa. They're using it against us. So the Human Rights Charter law should be void right now and should be rewritten. And please exclude the Muslim or Islamists or terrorism out of there, because the Imam who wanted to get Allah included in the Charter Right of Canada, well, it was not a good thing to do either. Maybe Mr. Trudeau would have done that, but the thing is, he's going to have to get the population allowance for doing this, because I'm sure that the Canadian population don't have the they don't really have the say to go against that fucking thing that the Imam brought to the government, because we all know that in the government there are 4 turbans, and I don't really consider turbans being ministers, because, you know, turban for me means shit, and the man wearing turban are assholes. Thank you very much. Bye. Have a nice day.